my hunch, this was done by Intelligent Design, and it is a Vertex. I plotted it on GPS.
Okay.
And I looked at it from above on the topo maps. It made a triangle.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yes, way. All right. And then we drew it out, and it's like a perfect triangle. And this structure is like a triangle shape. And we see this every now and then, this shape. What we're going to do is we're coming out to the teepee spot, and we're waiting for the stars to come out because we're going to explain to you everything that we've put together, so to speak, when it comes in relation to this structure right here. Okay, so we have night vision, we have infrared cameras out, we have FLIRs out, we got our parabolic, and we just got to wait it out a little bit and see if anything goes on out here. Okay, so I'm going to take the FLIR and I'm going to scan the area and see if there's anything going on out there, because we got some good information to put out for you on this video right here. All right. We're in a good time during the night to be able to explain, okay, to explain this whole concept of what I'm talking about here, okay? And the structure is right behind us, like that away. And Marky, do you want to hit it with a light real fast? Okay. Can you see the structure right here from where we're standing? Yeah. Okay, see the two center trees right here?
Hang on.
Okay, there we are.
All right. Okay.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah. The beautiful part is there's a moon setting right now, as you're able to see the structure. Okay. And we're going to be talking about alignments and things like this here shortly. But we're gonna walk out to the structure, and we're going to be able to show you what we're talking about in more detail. All right. So let's go ahead and take a walk out to the structure. Okay.
Got a stump right there, brother.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm still filming, so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's a bit of a jet flying over right now. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me. Okay, this is what it all comes down to, right? Okay. What this structure is, after I connected all the dots and connected all the pieces and brought up the software and analyzed all the angles, all the directions that I possibly could, okay, what this structure really represents is it represents an asterism, okay? And there's an asterism called a winter triangle, and it is part of Orion, right? And when we put all the pieces together, we found out that when we last came here, we found out that we had a structure that was 5 miles back this way. We had a structure that was, we found the last one 5 miles this way, and it took a back azimuth straight back to this one again, almost exactly a back azimuth. And when you plotted it all out on the map, right, it formed the winter triangle. And it was truly amazing what it came out to be. And on the map, okay, on the map, if you were to take the winter triangle that we had shown in the swamp, okay, it formed this object. It was really huge. The teepee takes the place of Sirius, the star. Now you might think I'm a little far-fetched, but just bear with me and listen to what I'm talking about here, okay? When you're looking at this structure right here, one of the points that was just like mind-numbing, boggling to me when I looked at it and assessed it was this part right here.
Okay.
The constellation, not trying to fall, but the constellation Orion. Mark, if you want to point that direction right there, if you could.
You mean up here?
Yeah, the constellation Orion and the winter triangle is back this direction, all right? Okay? And as it bends over, it pulls over through the night sky, it comes over and it starts to set. Now I will show this in the software representation, and you can see the triangle. What I'm trying to say to you is that the makers, the creators of the structure, were looking into the sky for what reason we do not know, and they created the structure based upon the winter triangle's path. When the winter triangle comes into a set at 240 degrees, all right, which is the center of the apex with the two center trees, when the triangle comes and it sets, all right, and it comes back in this direction, okay, you'll be able to see the winter triangle and Orion underneath it, and the builders, whoever built this, built it like a painter doing a portrait.
And I heard that.
Yeah. And what?
Did you hear that?
Something crashed over
Yeah.
there?
Did
No,
you hear it?
That's this away.
I thought that was back that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, so anyway,
In other words, this is it replicates what's in the sky.
yes, that's the whole idea. The builders were they were following the constellations, following the asterisms, and as it comes across the sky and starts to set, they made a structure.
That looks like that triangle in the
Yes.
constellation.
Yes, and I will show this, okay?
Mhm.
And the tipping point for me, the absolute tipping point for me was this part right here, okay? If you come here, okay, if you come here and you look at the triangle as it's coming down, and you look at this angle, okay, this angle of this tree, right here, right? This tree is a snap, okay? It is exactly 83 to 85 degrees, exactly with what the triangle shows on the software. It was just mind-numbing. It blew my mind away that I was fairly confident and fairly certain that that's what it was. This structure is a representation of Sirius, okay? The star. And the other structure in the other direction represents Betelgeuse, and the structure that goes in this direction represents the other part of the triangle, which is Procyon. And it's just mind-boggling. The angles all matched, people. They matched.
So are you saying that this triangle matches the one in the constellations, but it also matches the larger one that's in the swamp, right?
This, yes, the way this triangle is shaped, okay, pretty much matches what is on the map of the other teepee structures that we found that are 5 miles this direction and 5 miles in that direction, and they formed this triangle, okay, and that was what was the clue that led me to start thinking about the constellations and asterisms in the sky. Could it be that the builders and the creators were copying things out of the sky? And it looks fairly certain that that's what's going on.
That's
Okay. So what I'm telling you, people, okay, is the structures they're just not random, all right? Yes, of course, you might come across something that's wind damage or whatever the case you may have, man-made or whatever. But this is just matching up too much. And we pondered the thought about how could we create this? We were thinking about this.
yes, I know.
We were thinking about how could we create this structure I'm stumbling around in the dark right here.
Yeah.
See, look at this thing. And this right here it's exact. It's exact. It's right on the money. Right on the money.
Chris, I'll stretch and say I could see us making this, but to make the larger structure, 5 miles and 5 miles that matches matches the one in the constellations, that's beyond. I mean, I guess we could do it with a GPS,
Well,
but
I
we're not.
honestly don't think I could pull it off without
I-
GPS or without maps or without compasses or without some type of instruments. And here's the really scary part, all right? It leads me to think that the builders, whoever made these structures, have the ability or have some type of knowledge from above. I get this indication that they have some kind of knowledge as looking from above down on the earth somehow. You might say that, well, that's just crazy. That's just speculation. And I don't even know if I can really even show you the actual maps just yet. Maybe we will eventually show the maps, but we're still in the middle of an investigation, because if we had structures that were predictable, and the last structure was a predictable structure that was found based upon the mapping, okay, then could it be possible that the other structures are out there as well that are mappings of the constellation Orion or other constellations going on?
And what about the other states? Like.
Well, Colorado,
Well,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, and I have a friend that I was sharing this with. I had a friend that I was sharing this with, and he laughed. He said, "Dude, brother, I don't have time to be chasing stick structures around. I'm chasing, I'm trying to find Bigfoot." But I think this is all part of it, people, because these structures are very common, and they're commonly found in North America, and they're all now being created by people or the wind. This is just all the dots connected, everything started lining up. You just don't get 240 degrees, all right? Listen to me, okay? You just don't get the two center trees being at 240 degrees, shoot the back azimuth, and then you hit another structure, okay? Right on the angle, pretty much on the exact money, 5 miles away. You don't get that, okay? That's not the wind doing that.
That's not
Okay.
nature just doing that.
And 5 miles that way at exactly 359 degrees, which is practically due magnetic north, you get another TP looking structure, and that isn't the wind doing that either, okay? So I'm telling people in North America that there's something to it. Connect the dots, plot them out on your maps, people. You're going to find out that it means something and it makes sense. If I can do it, if we can do it, if you can do it too, and together we can maybe advance some of this stuff, and that's the beauty of it. And I haven't even decided what I'm going to call this thing. And you know, I haven't, I don't know. I haven't thought about what I'm calling it. Is it a theory? I don't know just yet. But I challenge people.
That's
Mark.
right.
I challenge people
Yeah.
to do it. It's it completely fascinating, and hopefully I was able to explain myself
It would be very
good enough.
exciting if people in other states who see structures could put this together like you have, and it matches. And what would that say? This is something larger than we ever imagined. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
yeah, and I'm gonna show them on the
it's
I'm gonna
amazing.
show them on the software. I
Yeah, and
didn't
Chris
build,
will show you on the software, and it really explains it.
and I'm gonna lay it all out. You know, like I said on the software, but you know, I didn't build the software. Okay, anyone can go out there and download the software. You don't have to pay money for it. It's free of
What
charge.
software are you talking about,
I
Chris?
believe it was called. I normally use Starry
It's
Nights.
for constellations,
Yes,
correct?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It's for and you
for
know,
the night sky.
yes, exactly. So you
Okay,
can use things like Starry Night. I think the other software is called, I think it's called Sterelium or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Um, but you can use this software to be able to stargaze. And maybe I came to these conclusions a lot more quickly than some people are saying. Maybe some people might say I'm reaching for it. But I used to be um, like a hobbyist when it came to astronomy and things like that. I did it out of my own personal time. That's why I was able to see and connect the dots a lot more quickly than maybe well, most people
right,
might think I'm reaching for it or
right.
guessing. But it makes perfectly good sense to me, and it dawned on me like, bam, man. When this angle matched, when this angle right here matched, guys, when this angle matched, it was mind-numbing to me. It clearly spoke to me
And
big
that
time.
that angle matched what was in the sky. That's
Yes,
what you're saying.
yes.
Yes.
Just like the constellation Orion would be coming down, the Winter Triangle asterism would be coming right
And
down
you
with
say
it.
you could lay it on top of this, and it would almost match.
Yes, you could. And when you lay the triangle over the green swamp, okay,
Yes.
all angles line up.
And even
All
this
angles,
small structure here, you said it lines up,
yes.
correct?
And so as it came down, the uh, the the uh, the side angles are a little bit more wider, more evenly spaced. Actually, they could have came down a little bit more, but I analyzed that, and because there's no trees there,
Right.
okay, there's no trees there, so they could not have really adjusted the angle too much than what they pretty much got. The builders are geniuses, whoever they are. Now, am I saying it's Bigfoot running around here, Sasquatch running out here doing that? Um, well,
Well, if it is, they're not dumb apes.
no,
You know,
people, no. If you think you're out there chasing around
a dumb ape, then.
a dumb ape or a dumb hairy ape man, I would I would suggest to you that maybe you might want to maybe expand your mind just a little bit more, because we all sat there in a circle earlier and we were just waiting for the darkness to come a little bit more, and we pondered how in the world we could pull this off,
Yeah,
and
it's
not a single one of us was able to say we could not do it. We could not do it. So hopefully I was clear in my explanation. I'm a little excited a little bit about it because um, I've put a lot of time into it. The team has put a lot of time and commitment trying to do the work involved, and the work is going to continue on, right? And we're going to go on the hunt.
amen.
And the last structure was found, all right? The last structure was found. It was predicted. So here's my question for everybody. What are you going to do when we find more structures that start aligning to the constellations?